Welcome back to Embracing New Life, the podcast that seeks to have conversations at the intersection of mental health and the church. And we hope that you're enjoying these episodes that are being released. We have another interview that we are beginning to release this week with another one of our colleagues at New Life Resources, Amber Wirth. We'll dive into her background, what got her into counseling, and what motivates her as she works with clients. And so we want to thank you for being with us. We appreciate your support, and we hope that you enjoy getting to know the staff at New Life Resources a little bit better. So without any further ado, here's part one of our interview with Amber Wirth. Welcome back to Embracing New Life. On today's podcast, we have with us another one of our colleagues, Amber Wirth. And so we'll be interviewing her and talking with her about her story and her history. And so we hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining us today, Amber.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for inviting me.
So, Amber, you've been on quite a journey to get to the place that you're at right now. Could you share with us how your journey developed, bringing you to providing the services and the care that you provide?
So I feel like when I think back on the ups and downs and my journey of here, I really am proud of myself. Like, I am in shock that I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Because I mean, I'm from Sussex, and 21 years ago I ended up graduating. But while I was in high school and through just growing up, college was not even mentioned to me. It was not a thing. It was just like, this isn't a possibility for you. And it's just sort of, so no one ever asked me, no one had any expectations. My parents were like, they were never like, what do you want to do when you're older, you know? And so sometimes I was even like really mad because like the counselors would come in, you know, and they would be like, okay, right, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I just put teacher because I didn't even know other professions. And so thinking back on my senior year, all my friends were going to four-year colleges. That just was not a possibility for me. Financially, my parents just couldn't afford it, and my parents didn't go to college. Me and my dad did for tool and die making, but my brothers didn't, and so I was like, I know I want to help people, but I don't even know where to start. And so one of my mom's friends actually said, well, you know, because I was like, maybe a school counselor would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And she said, well, if you have to pay for college, let's think about the options here. So WCTC had the AODA program there.
Yep.
And I'm like, let's just do it. And I mean, I'm a very average student. Like, cool if I got a C. And so even like my ACT score was like super low, and that wasn't even like I couldn't get into colleges. And so I guess my mentality was always just like, nope, like that's just not an option. You're not going to be educated. You got to figure it out. But I did get into WCTC, and through that program, I loved it. I loved it so much. It was a very basis on counseling, very basic, but the classes were so phenomenal in understanding AODA, and teaching me how to do simple counseling things. Like back in the day, they had like the counseling rooms where you had, you know, your teacher was giving you feedback on, you know, I don't know if you guys did that in school or whatever, but I loved it. And I remember during my internship, they had a piece of paper that said, what population do you want to work with for your practicum? I didn't know. And I literally put whatever there is the most need for. Okay, Lord, take it. And I knew in my heart, like, I was like, it's going to be people with disabilities. It is, isn't it? And it is. Absolutely. We partnered with Waukesha Training Center. And so part of my practicum was working with adults with disabilities and then taking them out on outings and teaching them skills and stuff like that. And that was awesome. My other internship was Wisconsin Early Autism Project doing in-home therapy. didn't know a thing about autism at all, not behavioral specifically, but this opened up my heart to this whole world
Yes.
of beauty and hardship and family stuff. So I understand that behavioral therapy is extremely structured, right? Like, I mean, it's like very honing in on, you go into the house, you provide behavioral therapy with the child, and you leave. But I fell in love with the kids, fell in love with the family members. What opened up my heart to the systemic love of this would be like, I would love to also work with the families though, because there was a distinct boundary that said you cannot invest your emotional energy within the parents and the siblings and stuff. Like, it is strictly behavioral therapy. So but I wanted to do more, and the families absolutely adored me. And what was beautiful about me working with kids with autism is that I got a sense of normalization in it. This is everyday life for them. This is what the spectrum can look like. So working with kids that were nonverbal compared to kids that are higher functioning is a very fascinating learning.
Now, are you going into their homes at this point?
Yeah.
So you're also seeing them in the context of the family.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
the hardship of working with a kid with nonverbal, who is 10, is also not potty trained and highly behavioral. And what type of behavioral programs do we have to do for this kiddo compared to the different behavioral programs we have to do for this? It's so contextually different. And that really gave me a ton of tools. To hold myself well in these families' homes, it was really scary in the beginning. And it can be very scary. I mean, you're provoking behaviors, essentially is what you're doing. But you're also seeing this beauty in when you're writing down all the stats is that they get better. Then they master the program, then they master the other program. Then it's just like, I cannot believe how wonderful and powerful it is. And I'm like, I get to change some of these lives of these families. Kids that go from nonverbal to verbal.
You were a bringer of hope.
I loved it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking a break from that. And one of my friends, I was doing youth ministry, and one of my friends at Northbrook said, hey, just got back from YWAM. It was extremely transformative. I'm like, well, I'm graduating, and I have no idea what I want to do. I either transfer to Ottawa, because that was the only human service degree here, I think, for a bachelor degree that would take all the credits from WCTC. And I'm like, I think I want to do a little bit of venture. I want to learn about missions. I want to learn about God. I want to kind of just hone in on my faith journey. So the Youth with a Mission, the discipleship training school that I did was in Minnesota. And that was extremely powerful too. And it was really good because being there allowed me to only focus on my relationship with God. And it was just a very healing experience for me. It was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable in the missions trips and things like that. The stuff that we did was, you stay with the locals. When you're with YWAM, you understand you're not in a, Holiday Inn or whatever. You're really working with very what I'm trying to say, but very poor families, communities. And so some of that stuff really integrated too, because I'm such a curious person. And when I take on something, like when I take on YWAM, I always was like, how much you put into it is how much you're going to get out of it. And I was so wanting to learn. I was so hungry that I absolutely loved every moment of it. And through it too, there was a beauty in relationship too. When you're building relationship away from my comfortable, family unit and my friends, it was like, now I get this family for a while that genuinely loves me and cares for me and is praying for me. And I'm also doing life with them. And so that was really powerful too.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have these like little takeaways from this like labyrinth, right? Like one labyrinth here, and then I take away that. And the second schooling that you can go to at the base there was called School of Evangelism. And that was really powerful. My first missions trip was to Peru. My second missions trip was to Kyrgyzstan, and that was really powerful. And I feel like traveling even in itself is very insightful. It awakens you. It gives you, like, it challenges you.
Totally.
It opens up your perspective.
Yeah.
And, it's like scary stuff. And, in Peru it was really cool because we worked with a lot of orphanages there and did a lot of preaching in some of the small churches, and we traveled all around the mountainous areas, the jungles, and, and that itself was just really powerful. And then in Kyrgyzstan, we ended up learning a lot about the homeless community there. And learning about the culture of shame there is so intense.
Yes.
That what we ended up doing for a while was providing food and water and stuff, and we would negative 40 degrees when we went, and we were just trudging through the manholes and the sewers because a lot of the homeless population ended up just living in them. And that, when you're in these situations, it again, like it's opening up a lot of stuff within you.
Yes.
And learning about the shame piece in Kyrgyzstan was huge, because it's like, if you become an alcoholic, you're completely shamed from your family. It's not like, hey, we'll give you a chance. It's literally, we don't even know you. And so I loved hearing the stories of the other in Kyrgyzstan. It was really powerful. Another thing that was really huge is we partnered with a lot of the teachers that we went to, and a lot of the teachers were actually from bride stealing.
Yes.
And that was heartbreaking. I guess we are teaching English, but we're also providing comfort, we're providing care, we're providing understanding. And that was probably one of the hugest things that I took away. Was I didn't know this was a thing. Everybody's in on it. The cops are in on it. I was threatened. Like, be careful. They'll take you off the street. So it is a very common thing. And a lot of these Christian families that we ended up staying with were striving to get these women back. And it's so difficult because once they take them and they ended up, SA or whatever with them, then they're basically, I am here, I have to stay. And so a lot of the Christians there's a lot of Muslims with a lot of Christians, far and in between, but the Christians were trying to reframe so much of this hope. Like, there is hope, and we have to, like, educate and educate and educate. So that was huge. And then coming back from all of that and coming back to Wisconsin, settling down from this huge, adventure and growth and, like, on this high, back to sort of like, okay, now who am I? I got my associate's degree and I have YWAM stuff, but I don't know. Where do I even begin? And ended up working with a few churches in Kettlebrook, doing some church planting and stuff, which was really awesome. Ended up working with Wisconsin Early Autism Project again, doing more therapy. and then ended up moving to Minnesota, not knowing that I was going to go back to school, but moved to Minnesota for another journey. And while I was in Minnesota, that's my other like labyrinth part, is working again with Minnesota Autism Center, which is their largest behavioral provider of ABA there. And that was really cool because they had clinics that I used to go into, and then I used to go in the homes and in the schools. I was all over the place, but it was a full-time thing. And I realized again, I would like to do more. I want more authentic work. I want more change, and I want to be involved with that healing. And so I looked up bachelor degrees, and Bethel University had their very first adult human service adult program that I was able to work and go to school full-time.
Very cool. We hope you enjoyed part 1 of our interview with Amber Wirth. Be sure to join us next week for part 2. And until we see you again, have a great week. Embracing New Life is a production of New Life Resources, a Christian counseling clinic in Southeast Wisconsin, whose aim and goal since 1976 has been to provide high-quality professional counseling, psychological, and consulting services from within a Christian framework.